Regardless of their fame and money, there is rappers that have committed some of the worst crimes imaginable, such as YNW Melly. The one reason YNW Melly's last trial resulted in a mistrial was the prosecutors not emphasizing to the jury what YNW Melly's motive would have been to commit the crime against Sakchaser and Juvie. However, the new lead prosecutor may have just found the reason why. YNW Melly was very close friends with King Von leading into his arrest. Recently, a very rogue O-Block member shared a secret that YNW Melly told King Von, as Melly asked King Von for advice on how to handle a situation with his two best friends, YNW Sakchaser and YNW Juvie.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he his two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? What the bam? I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
As allegedly, YNW Melly told King Von that Sakchaser and Juvie were going after him for financial gain. If you know anything about King Von's past and how he would handle his own situations where people were after him, you can likely guess the advice that King Von gave YNW Melly to handle the problem. Now, this was the missing piece of evidence the prosecutors missed during the original trial, which was what was the motive. It's important to know that the Florida Police Department arrested YNW Melly in Portland on February 13th, 2019 for the passing of YNW Sakchaser and Juvie. Melly was even granted a mistrial in his case on July 22nd, 2023. However, the feds have forced him to remain inside of jail all the way since 2019. This is all meanwhile YNW Portland was released on a bond multiple years ago, meaning that the police, ever since day one, have only ever wanted YNW Melly. This even dates back into the week of the crime where YNW Portland was interrogated by the police, where he even hints towards him being the innocent one and Melly being the guilty.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys opened the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
Ever since the interrogation, YNW Melly has been the main suspect, as police believe that he's the only guilty one of committing this crime towards Sakchaser and Juvie. So with YNW Melly sitting in a jail cell for the last 5 years, his mother Jamie King would go on to reveal how his life has been, as his mother would reveal that she is absolutely heartbroken for her son. She feels helpless because YNW Melly isn't even being treated as a human inside of jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
She would then begin ranting over the fact that YNW Melly has been granted a mistrial in his case, essentially beating the court case, but the feds are still keeping him inside of jail. She would then go on to mention that he's not even allowed to use a phone or even look at his own mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
YNW Melly's mother knew that she had to make a move to save her son. She would then start a petition to just have law officials look into his situation. Gathering over 50,000 signatures, it would finally be announced. YNW Melly has been transferred from Broward County Jail to the Paul Rain Detention Facility in Florida as he awaits his trial to resume. However, it gets a lot deeper than this, and allow me to explain. A viral comment would first share, I believe the Paul Rain Detention Facility is to house people struggling with mental illness. I really hope that YNW Melly is okay, making many believe that Melly is struggling a lot more than what we know. Now, we even caught a glimpse of how scared YNW Melly's mother is for him, as during the original Melly trial, when he was first granted his mistrial, his lawyers requested Melly to receive a bond out of jail or even house arrest 20 minutes after. Sadly, the judge denied it instantly on the spot, saying that Melly must return to jail, causing his mother to break down into literal tears in the crowd section. This would lead into Melly asking if she was okay. Even the judge knew instantly that the feds, they want YNW Melly inside of jail and they'll do anything to keep him there. This would even get the attention of rappers in the industry who would go on to reveal the stress that Jamie King's been going through and that it won't get any better.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
The chances of YNW Melly receiving house arrest has gotten slightly better, and it can actually happen due to one specific reason. It would be reported YNW Melly's Double M retrial is set for September 2025, as his mother would give an update outside of the courthouse 10 minutes after it was shared.
Free Melly till he's free. He's coming home, guys. Just patience. So we did have court today, him and Bort. They both had court. And so basically, the judge put a new trial date in for September 10th of 2025. Please make it make sense. I don't know. At this point, they need to just dismiss the case. So, and yeah, he still doesn't have phone calls. Still no visitation. He's still in the new facility all alone by himself, no contact. He's not allowed to have contact with any other inmates. They move him around with several guards. It's like something you never...
With the trial being so far away, lawyers online commented believing that Melly's lawyers are going to be pushing for a bond or house arrest from the new judge. They're going to make the argument that Melly's been inside of jail for over 5 years now. They believe it's likely to be granted, but there's just one thing preventing it, as YNW Melly was just hit with new charges alongside YNW Bortlet.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction. YNW Melly, his real name is Jamel Demmons. He's actually in plain clothes in the courtroom for the first time in months, again, as this judge really starts the long process of seating a new jury.
As it would be announced that YNW Bortlet was arrested for witness tampering. While he was outside, his house was raided by the feds, and they found insane paperwork against Bortlet and YNW Melly.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlet was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demons, aka Y&W Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
Leading into an announcement from Bryson Paul, here are the images of the alleged notes discovered during the home raid of Y&W Bortland's home last week, as filed into the Broward clerks by the state. Alongside these photos here, of Bortland detailing where certain jurors were sitting with a description of what they looked like during the original Melly trial. To understand how serious this is, here's DJ Academics' reaction.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Like, god damn. Holy sh. You know what I mean? Like, brother, like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
With Y&W Melly and Bortland being hit with these new charges, Y&W Juvie's father would give the police even more evidence to use against them. As Juvie's father would go on to do an interview, he would expose how Y&W Melly and Bortland were witness tampering, and even what code words they used to make Melly's ex-girlfriend not testify against him in the original trial.
Both Melly, Jamel Demons, Y&W Melly, and Cortland Henry, who is known as Y&W Bortland, are now charged with witness tampering. It sounds like the prosecutors are saying there was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures to try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. It was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
as with new evidence now being submitted to the judge for this new case, they would end up aligning it very perfectly with the hard evidence that's already against Y&W Melly. You tell me if he sounds guilty. The new blueprint to make Melly look guilty is to just make it very simple. According to the new lead prosecutor, he made everything very streamlined, as the first piece of evidence is from Melly's cell phone, where there's text messages of him literally admitting to doing the crime.
The PT Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02, the Y&W Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
This then leads into the concerning evidence shared by Sergeant Williams, where he would reveal that there is no way this could have been a drive-by, and the crime must have happened from inside of the Jeep they were driving in.
Number, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas is coming from outside of the car?
Yes, that has some movement in it, which is around site L here. The actually moving in that to create the little bit of a that you see there.
With Williams revealing the crime must have occurred inside of the vehicle, this is then when Y&W Juvie's mother would go to the stand and share who is sitting there, as she has known all 4 Y&W boys since they were born.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the kids in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Positive 2/19/15. Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
And is that a yes?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Jamel.
And Jamel, is that the defendant, Jamel Demons?
Yes, ma'am.
As with the new lead prosecutor's evidence files being shared, showing how simple he's gonna make it for the jury to understand, this is when Rap OG Boosie would react, saying that when the feds want YNW Melly, they're gonna do anything to get him.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted him bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. They could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
However, there has been rappers that have committed serious crimes during famous live streamers' broadcasts, starting out with Quando Rondo's run-in with a YouTuber named DatBoy Q. He was in the mall diamond testing people's chains to see if they were real. He'd end up running into Quando to test his chain, but instead tricked him by turning off the diamond tester, making everybody believe his chain was fake.
Test my chain.
Are you diamond testing the chain?
Hold on.
No, it ain't doing that, is it?
Man, little bro, quit playing with me, man.
No, I'm trolling y'all. They're very real. I'm trolling.
Huh?
I'm trolling.
Yeah, I know you're trolling.
The YouTuber lets Quando know that he's just playing, but Quando gets serious and tells him that he can get popped if he did it to the wrong guy.
They trolling on me with it. Diamond tester. And I don't know what they got going on. I don't even know y'all boys. But y'all playing like that.
After that, energy in the room changed up heavy. DatBoy Q would leave the mall very quickly. However, things streamers do can have a huge effect on the rappers that surround them. Like the time that Aiden Ross learned that he can't say whatever he wants when he's with rappers on live, because he would link up with Moneybagg Yo, and he was being taught how to freestyle.
Just looked at my wrist like, come on, I gotta. How'd you say it? Looked at my wrist, I got time of the day.
Quickly after, Moneybagg tries giving Aiden genuine advice. He turns it around on Moneybagg and begins saying some very sus things in his freestyle.
Just look at my wrist, I got time today. Moneybagg, you looking so fine today. What? Yeah, pull up enough wine and red. I got blue on me.
Moneybagg, being from the streets, was not rocking with what Aiden said at that moment, but he would give him another chance, although he would just continue to say very wild things.
I got you. One more chance, that's all I ask.
Try again, bro.
I got you. Alright, I got you. I didn't mean to say that either, bro. I compliment you because you are it. You're gonna have to buy me a purse, but not that's her purse. Wait a minute. Wait.
After letting it slide a second time, Aiden would chuck on another beat and continue to say more outlandish lyrics. But Moneybagg Yo was seriously not having it. He would walk out right in the middle of a paid stream.
Bone says I was a jit. Grab a toothpick, grab it, twist it. Wait.
I gotta leave.
This would be similar to the time that a YouTuber named Bubba100 tried joking around with an old school rapper known as Mano. From the get-go, Bubba's talking crazy to Mano, saying that he could take him on a one-on-one and that it was his one goal for the weekend to snatch some chains.
I came over here, like, my objective over here today was to, you know what I'm saying, snatch some chains. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you should try that. No, I'm saying, this is a good, you should really try that.
Mano, being from an old school rap era, doesn't mess around with the trolling online. He would ask him if he wants his moment right then and there, which Bubba would get all nervous, but he continues asking very wild questions.
Wait, why? So why they keep looking at me like that? Like, they're making me feel a type of way. You want your moment, right? Huh? You want your moment, right? Wait, what you mean you gonna get it? No, guarantee you gonna get it. No, not like that. I'm just saying, like, I guarantee you on everything I love, you're gonna get your moment. All right, so wait, so let me borrow your chain.
Time after time, Mano warned Bubba to knock it off and just chill out, but Bubba was desperate to go viral online. Things would then finally start going south and he would learn his lesson.
On a scale of 1 to 10, right? how badly you think I could like beat? Chill.
By this point, he tells Bubba to stop playing with him and that he better be careful with the people in the future, or else he might end up being in a very bad spot. Because it's clear that with some rappers, you cannot joke around with them. Just like the time Jack Doherty invited the Island Boys over to his house. He would begin arguing back and forth with them, and it didn't take much time for them to start swinging on Jack.
Y'all gotta shake hands.
Whoa. But there's also other times and situations that can be out of your hands. Just like when Jack invited Rich the Kid and his crew over to his house for a collaboration. But then one of Rich the Kid's friends, girlfriend, would lose her $1,000 hoodie inside of Jack's crib. Rich's crew began pressing Jack about where the hoodie went.
I was on watching the whole time. That's my point. So take out there, because now is not the time to play. Are you good? Are you lost? You good? No. Listen, what you mean?
With Jack getting very scared that they were getting angry, he would quickly start searching around the house for the hoodie, because if he didn't, they were gonna go after him once that live stream turned off.
Bro, there's no way you're pressing me about the hoodie. There's no way. Figure it out. There's no way. Figure it out. It sounds like you took the hoodie.
Yeah, I know.
You're reacting like that. No. Yeah, for where?
With the situation continuing to escalate, Rich the Kid got involved by stealing Jack's friend's car keys, and he would even take the ride out for a spin, due to them being mad about the expensive hoodie. However, we would see Adin Ross link up again and have issues with Charleston White. In 2023, the two would start talking with each other, and the fans all loved the collaboration between the two. Adin would fly out Charleston out to a weekend in Vegas, and one of Adin's close friends, Izzy Prime, was also invited out for the trip, but it would end up turning out for the worse. Over the weekend, Prime and Charleston got into a few disputes with each other. While out to eat at a restaurant and live streaming it to 100,000 viewers, Prime would call Charleston White the nickname Rainbow due to some past actions that he did. However, Charleston White would respond by asking why he's so worried what he's up to.
Talk about my. Why did he jump in this conversation?
The two go back and forth, saying they both aren't playing with each other, and they continue just yelling at each other across the table. They would then end up both standing up. Things would get physical between the two.
You came and jumped in. You ain't gonna do it. What you gonna do? I know what to do.
And with them both getting very serious about it, Prime would tell Adin to get Charleston away, causing Prime to get worried that Charleston had something in his pockets that he was gonna run up on him with.
Keep talking like you gonna do something. You ain't gonna do it. I know how to handle the situation.
Charleston not long after would tell the stream that he's leaving because of Prime wanting to get a big issue out of nothing. However, Prime later on the night would hop onto IG Live saying that he would have touched him if it wasn't for Charleston having pepper spray on him.
You can go watch it. He stood up over me because I called him, and then he like, and I was stood up. All I did was stood up. Then he got the make. When he got the make.
But it wasn't done there, because Prime was so worried about Charleston being at the same hotel as him that he would have Adin call the police on Charleston to have him removed from the hotel.
He been blowing me a Europe, man. Been blowing me. Call the police on me. Yeah, Prime and call the police on me.
However, there would be multiple times that streamers have sung true rap lyrics about things that actually happened to get them in trouble. Just like the time Sneako was live streaming to New York drill music while rapping the song to tens of thousands of viewers. He would end up dissing a New York street member known as J-Rip, who had sadly passed away. This is when suddenly one of J-Rip's friends, C-Blue, collaborated with Adin Ross on a jail stream that Sneako was also a part of, causing C-Blue to confront Sneako and make him apologize for the words that he sang in his stream.
I seen you on the internet dissing my homies. The person I got tatted right here for me, 0 mans I lost for me to the street. I just need an apology for me.
I didn't diss anybody.
Yeah, you did.
Who?
You said you were singing a song for me. You said you J-Rip type.
I already, right after I said that, I apologized.
I bet.
You saw it in the clip.
No, I didn't, honestly.
I'm singing a song.
I bet.
Thankfully, C-Blue understood that it was just Sneako not being aware of what he was truly saying with these lyrics, but it could have gone way differently. Another time that this happened was with a streamer named Neon. He was constantly acting tough online to his viewers until he finally got confronted. Neon repeatedly did a disrespectful dance called the Naughty Bop, which mocks the passing of the rapper Naughty Osama. The dance was created by by his ops to disrespect him after the incident went down. Regardless of this, Neon continued to do the dance over and over again while laughing, all while his fans were spamming the chat informing him what those lyrics and the dance really meant. This is when Naughty's older brother, Didi Osama, caught wind of Neon doing this. He would ask him to stop doing it out of respect of his fallen brother, but Neon wouldn't listen. So Didi Osama would watch Neon stream very closely. He caught his location and would confront him on the spot.
Neon!
Lucky for Neon, he got away with it, but 3 months later, Didi would find him again. Didi was a lot more relaxed on the second time around. He just wanted Neon to apologize for what he did with the dance on stream.
I know, I want to... Listen, I just want to tell you this. You don't know where I come from. Like, you not from the street. I'm trying to tell you, like, look,
you good?
look at me,
Good,
look
bro.
at me, look at me. I'm not looking at
Sorry,
my bad. I'm not trying to say nothing about you.
Neon was extremely scared for his life, from constantly looking over his shoulder during the confrontation to make sure his security guards were standing nearby. All Didi wanted for Neon was to say sorry for his actions.
I need you to apologize to, cause like, you know, my heart, like, my mom be on the gram watching.
I want to apologize to her too, bro. It was not right what I did, bro.
It's not even about that even, my heart. It's just about, you're not even in the streets to be even saying my brother.
It was back in the day. I didn't realize what I was doing, bro.
However, with Neon constantly getting himself into crazy situations on live stream, this wasn't the only time that he ran into a rapper with an issue. Because he was streaming with Ruby Rose one day, the two would go off to a studio to record, but inside of the studio was NLE Choppa. He would hear that he was at this studio and he would quickly pull up on him. NLE was angry at Neon because his fans got one of his shows canceled and made him lose out on nearly $50,000 for the show. NLE Choppa's team would cut the cameras to his live stream and only this audio clip would leak to the public.
Hey bro, you still one of my shows, bro.
Your show?
Yes, man.
Wait, what did I do?
And then they seen that you was on live and they raided the whole hotel and the whole show got.
No way.
They got it on God couldn't even I was supposed to get paid so bad too, so you low-key owe me some money.
Once Neon and his team knew that he had to get away, the two would begin driving away and his security guard would mention that they had firearms on them.
That was in the room with you, the heavy one?
Come here, Sneeko. I didn't say bye.
That sounds fun.
So if Neon and his fans continue to cause trouble with rappers, it might be best to stop collaborating with them. Many of them can be unpredictable in what they might do. We have seen many people get into serious situations for trying to fool around with rappers, such like Swifty Blue. He's a rapper based in LA. He's mostly known for his song titled Swap for Swap with Kodak Black. However, just recently, one YouTuber showed up trying to get a viral clip of Swifty trying to confront him.
Chillin'? Hey bro, where's the nearest subway over here? I don't know. I'm not from out here, that's why. Looks like you know a lot of directions, my boy. Trying to get or what?
But the conversation would continue to escalate with Swifty getting very angry.
You know who I am?
I don't care who you are, bro, but the way your image is, it looks like you're trying to get dropped or what?
Better back up, bro. Better back up with all that. You know who the fuck I am? Where you from, matter of fact? Where you from?
Earth.
Where you what?
I live on Earth.
Eastside Paramount.
Hey, chill out, bro. It's a video.
And so with Swifty pulling his item out of his pocket, the YouTuber would get extremely scared, repeatedly told him it was just for a video, but it just goes to show you how on edge a lot of these rappers in the streets can be. They're always on guard and they're looking out for whatever might happen, even in their own hood.
I could be the one. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting ran up on. It could happen to anybody.
However, with the next incident, we're back at Adin Ross and Izzy Prime because Adin was hosting a stream with IShowSpeed, Prime, NLE Choppa, and his crew. For most of them, the vibes were good, but with many of them starting to dance around getting hyped for the stream, this is where things turned different. NLE Choppa's friend Lil 100 threw some money onto the ground. Things would begin to go south as Prime started picking up the money off of the ground. NLE Choppa and his friends didn't like that, and they would show him. Lil 100 continues to tell Prime to give the money back and put it onto the ground, and Prime's getting mad, saying that he wasn't touching any of their money to begin with.
Hey man, tell him making my money out of
in response to everyone laughing at Prime for taking the money and getting yelled at for it, Prime would tell Lil 100 that he's from Chicago and he's really about it. But 100 would let Prime know what's up.
I'm from Chicago, from the South Side. Where you from? I'm from Jordan. You don't care about my money. I don't know what it is. Play about my money, boy.
After the continuous back and forth, Prime said that it was only $40, but Lil 100 didn't care. He said that it was the principle of taking his money in the first place.
Hey, yo, $40, shorty? Hey, yo, what it is? It's the principle. I don't play about my money. Putting up my money. Like I said, $40. And I got a pocket full of money.
100 then tells Prime that he better get back to Twitch streaming before someone starts twitching for good. Prime would immediately leave the stream.
Y'all twitching? Back to twitching. For somebody get the twitch. My money. Shorty get the twitching. Get your people, bro.
However, both the NBA Youngboy's close friends D-Dog and Hoodie are really about it, and they almost pulled one on this YouTuber because they were just walking down the street when suddenly a YouTuber would say this to them.
I'm a real street. What up? Real street. What about it? What does that mean?
I'm the original chain snatcher.
All right.
I'm a real street.
After not even paying much attention to him and walking off, the YouTuber continues trying to bother them, which both D-Dog and Hoodie would let him know what's up.
No, much love. Yeah, you gonna get stuck. Oh, no, but God bless you. Bro, I love you, brother.
As D-Dog is not the type of guy that you want to mess with. He's got a very long list of previous crimes, from high-speed police chases, robbery, and even a passing that he took part in. However, the YouTuber also did something similar to rapper FBG Buddha, as he would go on to joke with him saying to free Lil J, which just happens to be FBG Buddha's ops that got locked up. He'd then rub Buddha the wrong way, which would lead into this interaction.
Hey, butter, dog. Free Lil J, though. Hey, butter, hey, chill. Hey, where Lil J at?
What if he had in jail, cool?
Why you ain't take him, bring him out, dog? Why you got that man locked up?
Why you got his stuff locked up?
With Buddha getting fed up with the YouTuber, he would then take it to the next level, asking him if he wants to be taken out right then and there. He would then quickly leave the shop.
Hey, bro. Let me know. I'll fuck with you, bro. Hey.
However, Lil Baby just recently committed a serious crime, but sadly this is going to excel the speed of him being featured in the YSL Rico trial because with Lil Baby being arrested on bail, the arrest couldn't have come at a worse time. The Atlanta DA had just put it on record that Lil Baby and several 4PF members are going to be joining the YSL Rico trial very soon, as right now the YSL Rico trial with Young Thug and Gunna is transitioning into a new phase of arguments. This will now feature rappers in the industry like YFN Lucci, Gunna, and sadly Lil Baby, who will all be getting investigated for their involvement in the YSL Rico. Starting in May 2022, Young Thug alongside Gunna and several YSL members were arrested on Rico charges. However, within 2 weeks, Young Thug and Lil Baby's best friend Gunna snitched his way out of the case by accepting a plea deal.
YSL is a music label, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
When Gunna originally snitched, the following day, it would then be reported by DJ Academics, Lil Baby as well as members of 4PF are next on the Atlanta DA's Rico list. Very similar to how YSL and Young Thug were raided and arrested for Rico, Lil Baby is now next on that list.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
As we would even see DJ Academics then confirm on a stream showing the evidence file of 4PF on the official court document, while also confirming it on the stream that it is a rap group with a 3-letter name.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by 3 letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
As why this is so important is because of the next phase of the YSL Rico trial. All of the street teams that are connected to YSL are being brought into the courtroom. Even Lil Baby knows this, as in his newest song titled 350, he would throw shade at Gunna for getting him involved. He would end up rapping the lyrics, "Ain't never said nothing about it, boy you know that you a rat." This would end up going viral on social media. Lil Baby is extremely angry at the situation, but in the end, it would end up rubbing Young Thug's father the wrong way. He would go on to an interview to tell Lil Baby to be quiet.
How do you feel about Lil Baby throwing at Gunna for his plea deal? For his plea?
He need to shut the fuck up, cause he don't know what's going on. You know, he's going off of what he heard. Ask Lil Baby, have you ever came to a court date?
Oh, okay.
See, that's what I want y'all to ask these damn rappers and these bloggers with this whole snitch shit and this. When have y'all went to a court date to support Slime, to support Jeffrey, to support Thug, however you want to name it? Go on their social media pages and say, why in the haven't you been at the courthouse to support your dude? And I guarantee you won't get an answer.
As Young Thug's father didn't end there. He would then go on to reveal this about Gunna.
Courtney said, how do you feel about Gunna?
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna is a rat and he's done this and done that.
But see, let me try to help the attorney clarify that a little simpler. Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case. Period.
As Young Thug's father states that Gunna's plea deal didn't affect Young Thug and Lil Baby, but rappers in the industry have much different opinions. Tekashi 6ix9ine would hop on a Clubhouse call with Wack 100 to explain that Young Thug and Lil Baby is in a terrible situation because of Gunna accepting that plea deal.
So me pleading guilty is only making it worse for my man. I'm saying I was there. Yes, I did it. I plead guilty. I am guilty. I am guilty. Anything you said in that courtroom is going to be used against your man, my man. That is over.
He would then further on his argument as a week after that call, he would then meet up with DJ Academics, sharing more thoughts about Gunna's snitching.
He just implicated YSL being so now home, right? All the people who's locked up, like Jeffrey, like Young Thug, now he can't go with that defense.
As the crimes that Lil Baby was involved in will come to light soon during the YSL RICO trial. However, there has been some serious crimes committed against rappers, as the man that went after Tupac Shakur and sadly made him pass has now been arrested. The new police investigation team reviewing the passing of Tupac just found something, coming from an interview by a man named Keefe D, who is currently in jail for the passing of Tupac. He would go on to reveal that Tupac was only targeted because he was reaching for his firearm right before the crime occurred.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
Once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
As this would end up going viral on social media, where Snoop Dogg would then even react to the new Keefe D interview and even share more information about the night of his passing.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop Dogg revealed that he was supposed to be inside of the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight. With this interview then going viral, fans would realize that it connects with another older interview by Snoop, where he would go on to state that him and Tupac were very close friends. However, 2 days before his passing, Snoop suddenly felt like Tupac hated him, which could be another reason that Snoop Dogg didn't get into the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me. out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with it. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
This makes the entire situation extremely suspicious. The new police force reinvestigating Tupac's case has even found multiple new theories, as one officer would go on to reveal that Tupac was allegedly an industry plant with the job of stopping the beef between the red and blue street teams.
What did you find most fascinating about the alternative history of Tupac?
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, you know, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be a in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
Where the investigator would go on to reveal that Tupac actually failed in his mission to make everyone be peaceful to each other. Then he would suddenly pass in Las Vegas with the head of his record label. However, when you compare this to a 2010 interview with a rapper named Treach, this is where everything turns weird. Because in 2010, Treach was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before a concert. Treach and Tupac were very close friends way back in the day. They even worked on a few albums together. But here's where things get interesting. After Treach's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording, and he put his camera onto the floor, and in the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Treach about Tupac, to which Treach responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
We good. Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Then, only 2 weeks later, a video would be released onto a news website showing a video of Tupac chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This is where everything begins to get very strange, as Suge Knight also agrees that Tupac is alive. He has said so in so many interviews over the course of the last 2 decades now, as one particular interview from Suge makes a very convincing case, where he would go on to reveal that Tupac was doing fine in the hospital before his passing. He would say, and I quote, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird about this is, according to police records, Tupac was supposedly in a very deep sleep when arriving to the hospital. So how in the world would he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was in a deep sleep? It doesn't really seem to add up. However, in a 2008 interview, 10 years apart, Suge Knight said the exact same thing, that Tupac was alive and that he was living well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They love me.
However, Suge Knight took a 10-year gap between talking about Tupac in interviews, because in the 2008 interview, 1 week later, Suge Knight almost lost his life at a nightclub when a masked man used a firearm in his direction 6 times. Suge Knight was hesitant to tell the police anything, but he immediately knew that it was likely from him talking about Tupac in an interview. The concerning part was Suge Knight's son, Suge Knight Jr., also made the same mistake, because in 2010, Suge Jr. took it to Instagram, stating that Tupac Tupac was alive and well, and that he was living in Malaysia. But right after Suge Jr. posted this, he would then post another photo to Instagram showing a text conversation where someone said, "You have said too much, it's now time for you to go." This is then when Suge Knight's son started posting several photos of Tupac alongside modern day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. He made it seem like someone was going after him for leaking all this information, as on the photo with Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." As while some believe that it's a publicity stunt for Suge Jr. to gain social media clout, others believe that it is factual, and that Suge Jr. would be the one to know more about the case than anyone else in the world, considering his father was right there at the scene of the crime. However, when you compare the evidence of Tupac still being alive to the new police records, something has got to be missing, and you tell me if you notice it. As the police recently just arrested a man named Keffe D in connection to the crime of Tupac.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keffe D, of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our section to get to where we are today.
As on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over and they were leaving through the lobby of the hotel, they ended up spotting an op sitting there in the corner, and they quickly approached him.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keffe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keffe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
With security breaking up the altercation between Tupac, Suge Knight, and the ops, Tupac and Suge would go back to their hotel to change. They then headed off to a club to go party it up for the night, as at around 11 p.m., while the two were driving to the local club owned by Suge Knight, they ended up getting stopped by a red light. Waiting for the light to go green, an opposing vehicle would then pull up beside them, and this is where the crime would go down.
Others knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keffe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
As with the aftermath of the incident being a mystery for over a decade and no one knowing who was involved, the police recently investigated a concerning interview by a man named Keffe D, as during the interview, he would detail the moments of finding Tupac and literally pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. He was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
To later, Keffe D would then share an interrogation with the police on the night of the crime, a never before seen video until now.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
as during the police's investigation, they also found Keffe D's reaction to Tupac passing. It goes and shows his true emotions, and you tell me if he's being genuine.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. You know, I really do, man. Because it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happened. Promise to God. I feel they should, you know, that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude. You know what I'm saying? I lost my Colombian plug. You know what I'm saying? Had to been having the feds up for 15 years. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't catch a break, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I did time behind.
However, the crimes that Pooh Shiesty committed could have ruined his life forever, as it was even on the news because how serious the crimes were.
The barrage of sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands.
Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty went from being one of the fastest growing rappers to committing an armed robbery in a green McLaren to then flexing the McLaren on Instagram 2 hours later, leading into his arrest. However, his current jail situation went viral online when rappers began hating on Shiesty for allegedly snitching, as when he was arrested, he created what's known as a proffer deal with the feds. But many rappers looked at it as snitching, leading into Big 30 having to defend his best friend.
My mama, if you see some paperwork, my mama, I do whatever y'all tell me to do. Cause my eyebrows, mustache, hair, I throw my chains in the river and jump in and if Shiesty snitch. Go home, take one to the. I ain't got no rat.
When rappers started calling him out for snitching, Pooh Shiesty would call them all out from his jail cell. But to understand the message he gave and when his release date is, you first need to learn how Shiesty allegedly snitched and why he was arrested. As DJ Academics would explain Pooh Shiesty's current jail situation, as he's currently living better than most Americans.
Salute to Pooh Shiesty, who looked like he's absolutely chilling in jail. My boy got a little Richard Millie, you know what I mean? Got the haircut all right. You know what I mean?
They be playing Fortnite Mobile.
In jail? Oh, he got the Timbs on. They look fresh as well. Yo, this so chilling in prison. He got 2 watches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, 2 watches, not even 1.
This isn't normal for somebody that just committed serious charges like he did. As in the original crime documents, it begins with Shiesty and his best friend setting up a meet for high-end sneakers as well as narcotics. As Pooh Shiesty met the seller on Instagram DMs, and they agreed on a meet inside of a parking lot across the street from a police station. Pooh Shiesty is seen arriving to the meet driving a bright green McLaren. Awaiting the seller's arrival, Shiesty and his boy created a plan to rather steal the items than pay for them, as once the seller arrived, he gave Shiesty the sneakers. Doing a legit check on the pair of sneakers would end up giving his boy enough time to get into position for what was about to go down. Shiesty would begin negotiating on a price for the goods, which then resulted in an argument between him and the seller. This was, however, until Shiesty was seen grabbing a firearm from out of his waistband. You then see the 2 men start sprinting away, trying to jump behind their car for cover, but sadly they weren't quick enough. Shiesty would end up using his firearm, connecting to both of them, hitting one in the hip and hitting one in the backside. While Shiesty was handling the 2 sellers, his best friend was in charge of grabbing the sneakers and narcotics from out of their vehicle. He would end up grabbing all of the goods, throwing it inside of the McLaren, and sprinting to the passenger's side. Meanwhile, Pooh Shiesty is making sure his job is done before sprinting to the driver's side of the car. He would open his McLaren door. This vehicle had butterfly doors, meaning the car door goes upwards. While being in a rush, hearing nearby police sirens, he wouldn't even realize he just dropped a Louis Vuitton bag from out of his side door pocket. This bag fell onto the parking lot. It had $40,912 in cash on the inside, and it played a huge role in the evidence against Shiesty, but more on that later. As Shiesty would drive straight to the closest Miami airport, he would rent out a private jet, and he flew straight out of Miami, Florida. While in the air in the private jet, he would then post photos to his Instagram flexing the all-green McLaren. Shiesty would then be arrested in the following days due to his actions.
The town of Bay Harbor Islands says you're wanted with
He's also charged with armed robbery, battery in their affidavit, saying the two left the state in a private jet.
Once he was booked into jail, he was quickly bonded out for $30,000 by Gucci Mane. After being on bond for a few months, he would then be officially arrested and sentenced.
Mr. Williams, you were arrested for pursuant to an arrest warrant. It was issued June 3rd. It's charging you. You have two attorneys here, or is it? I'm sorry, two attorneys in the state. Go ahead. You want to announce again?
Brad Cohen and Sam Zegny for the defendant.
Right. Have you had a chance to review?
Yes, Judge, we have.
Fast forward a few weeks, DJ Academics would then tweet, breaking, Pooh Shiesty sentenced to 63 months in prison. He was facing 8 years. As the Memphis rapper was officially sentenced, 63 months for firearm charges and robbery is extremely low. Even DJ Academics revealed on stream that he's almost released, and no one could even believe it.
And I think he's coming home like next year, maybe the year after. However, it looked like he's, taking responsibility of whatever happened and doing his time, not crying. Clearly trying to let people know he's straight. And I do think when he comes back out, granted, as long as it's not like too far from now, if he comes back in a year, he's good. I still think even within 2 years.
As he is being released early for one specific reason. Shiesty created a proffer deal with the feds. A proffer deal is when the criminal proves additional detailed information to the feds relating to the offense for which immunity, or in this case, a lesser sentence, is granted. Now, Shiesty used a proffer deal to have his charges of 8 years to life in prison dropped in exchange for 63 months. This is why we're seeing rappers call out Shiesty for working with the feds, as they all believe Shiesty snitched on his boy that was with him during the crime. However, if you read the official court documents, it reveals that Shiesty only gave information on himself, and he had to write to the judge the 3 mistakes that he made. That way, he has a lesser chance of committing a serious crime again. As Shiesty would outline the massive mistakes that he made in this crime, and I was able to get them from the official police report. The first mistake Shiesty wrote out is that he committed an armed robbery right beside a police station. The footage you see here is recorded from police station cameras across the street. Once the sound of firearms in the area were heard, several police cars turned on and their sirens were loud. They began driving, which led to Shiesty leaving the parking lot as fast as he could. With law enforcement knowing exactly the location of the armed robbery, it didn't take them long to just look through the recording tapes from the video camera across the street. Also, with the police arriving as fast as they did, they are the ones that picked up the Louis Vuitton bag, giving Shiesty 0 time to get the bag back. Now, the feds already had an idea of who committed the robbery due to the third mistake, but the second mistake Shiesty wrote was that he didn't pick up the Louis Vuitton duffel bag. This bag with $40,912 in cash played a major role. On Shiesty's Instagram, there's photos of him stretching many $100 bills across of his body. The feds downloaded these photos and zoomed in on the picture. They were able to see the serial number on the bills, and with creative police work, they noticed that the photos with the serial bill, they ended up matching the bills on the inside of the Louis Vuitton bag, making it a perfect match to know whose Louis V bag this truly was. This would then lead into the biggest mistake of them all. Pooh Shiesty posted a selfie with the all-green McLaren that he just committed an armed robbery in 2 hours after the crime. Yes, that is not a joke. Shiesty took these photos here, posting it while on the private jet, flexing the all-green McLaren. This would end up going viral on social media, and it wouldn't even be a year later while he's in prison where Shiesty's team would capitalize on the viral and end up releasing a music video titled Gone MIA, flexing the green McLaren again. However, rappers continued calling Shiesty a snitch. This caused him to receive a bad rep in the game, even leading into Shiesty in jail sending out a message to everyone hating. He would first call out the ops that are disrespecting him. It goes and reads, King Shiesty tapping in from the middle of the penitentiary, aka a bad place, where they say I can't go, jailing no telling, I still remain untouched. Millions still in double digits, tell Google to fix my net worth, we can verify that right now. I'm locked up, not messed up, I'm 21, up 8 figures, Jay-Z can't even relate to my money. I put on for the CG stuff every day, twice on Sundays, and I'm on the same stuff from Tokyo to Tennessee. I'm not gonna go fed to start getting scared, and no one's never played with me free or in jail. I'm still the man of Memphis, still the king no matter what jungle. You can't even beat me at crawling backwards, and you're gonna have to get your hand and stick game up before before you could do something, stop playing with me so much. For my fans, supporters, and loved ones holding it down every day, keep keeping it solid, and I promise it won't go unnoticed. I see everything and I got something special for you all. The rest of you guys are done. Keep hating, false advertising, and counting me out. I'm gonna go 100% on you. As many people have started sleeping on Pooh Shiesty since he's been arrested. However, it's important to hear an interview that he did just before getting locked up to show you what kind of man Shiesty is.
Really, when I got signed, but I'm gonna tell you before I got signed, like breaking news. The verse on breaking news made everybody go crazy. And folks started saying I'm their favorite rapper already, so I'm gonna stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just made me go harder.
So the success kind of gave you the confidence to really keep it up?
Yeah, they rocking with me for sure.
Man.
It's in my first verse.
Young Thug, however, has committed a long list of crimes, considering that's why he's in a current RICO trial, which is why it is also great to see that Young Thug's lawyers were just cooking in the YSL RICO trial. It's a very common tactic when a new judge enters a trial to try to make the point of pressuring the new judge for a mistrial. It would be announced today. On late Friday, attorney Max told Judge Page that he had filed a new motion for a fair trial. This motion comes after the attorneys found out about another ex parte meeting on June 7th.
So I recently filed while we were in court, a motion for a fair trial, seeking remedies. Oh, and I will email, it was just filed. And I will email it over.
As Max is a part of Young Thug's legal team, he's bringing up an issue that the prosecutors had an illegal meeting to gain evidence on Young Thug outside of the courtroom with outside sources. He wanted the judge to investigate it, however his motion was denied right after the courtroom. This would go on to make Max and his partners come to the following day in court screaming right at the judge in front of everyone.
Well, you know, the problem, Your Honor, is that since this was an ex parte meeting that should probably have never taken place. You were not there. I was not there. My fellow outside agitators weren't there. We don't have a video of it. So I have no idea specifically if that was not referred to us. We don't know, do we? We don't know. And what I do know is that I have been arguing with people for 18 months that Chief Judge Glanville was doing his best, that he was trying to rule to the best of his ability based on the evidence and the law before him, and now I have been made to look like an idiot. So I do not believe that this trial should continue, Your Honor.
As this would end up going viral on social media, Lil Baby would even react saying, "It's about time, Thug's coming home. Slime's been in the cell too long, the trial is over, and the judge is crazy." Even 42 Doug would go on to say,
"Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?"
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened. Crazy, like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
As lawyers online would review the latest evidence and give Young Thug his release date. But to understand when, you first need to understand how the entire mess started, as it would be announced that Judge Glanville had been recused from the YSL RICO trial after Young Thug and his co-defendants petitioned to have him removed. This means that Judge Glanville was officially gone from the YSL case. This would lead into an announcement of Judge Ingram has been assigned as the new judge in the YSL RICO trial. However, lawyers have different opinions on what this truly means because Judge Ingram only lasted 3 hours.
I smell RICO charges. Judge Glanville has been recused from the YSL trial. This is the order from Judge Rachel Krause granting the motion to recuse Judge Glanville from the case. Now, will this case continue with a new judge taking over midway? I don't think so. I think you have to start from scratch, which means new jury. That new judge is going to have to come up to speed with all of the evidentiary rulings that have happened in this case, and then you start all over again. When is this trial supposed to finish? 2030? It's a damn shame because this guy probably had a great long career. He was the chief judge in Fulton County. He's a military veteran. He's probably a very accomplished individual, but his legacy will be nothing more than he was extremely biased. He had it out for the defendants.
As even the famous rap lawyer believes, the RICO charges against 20 YSL members are now non-existent. Judge Glanville was at the top of the food chain in the legal system, and he even folded in the YSL trial. Judge Ingram would only go on to last 3 hours before also exiting the YSL RICO trial, as lawyers are believing that no judge will be up to the task of this case. The famous rap lawyer would then go on to label Young Thug's next move.
What's next in the YSL case? We have a new judge. Judge Ingram has been assigned the case. You're going to see a couple of motions filed by each of the defendants. First, they're going to file a motion for bond. Second, they're going to file a motion for a mistrial. The bond argument is easy. They're going to argue he's been locked up forever. Now he's going to be locked up for God knows how long is forever. Can we get him a bond? The argument for a mistrial is going to be very interesting. They're going to go to Judge Ingram. They're going to say, Judge Ingram, you're going to have to pick up this case midway. You're going to have to make all these rulings going forward. But before you can do that, you got to read about everything that's happened. You got to read about the court transcript, every line from the longest trial in Georgia history. This is already the longest trial ever. Then you're going to have to read about all the motions, evidentiary objections, pre-trial rulings, in-trial rulings. It's going to take you God knows how long before the trial is ready to resume. And will the jury be ready to resume? They've already been out for weeks.
As shortly after, this is then when it would be announced that the third judge in the YSL RICO trial would be ready to go. Her name is Judge Page. On her first day of being the new YSL judge, Thug's legal team sent in 20 motions for a mistrial and for a bond. As due to this, lawyers have predicted that Thug's lawyer is going to be yelling for a mistrial this week. Even Kodak Black's lawyer said, "The case and the judge is off the reservation. This is an instant mistrial. I cannot believe the judge thinks having a defense attorney into custody isn't a mistrial." As for some reason, Judge Glanville thought that it was okay to have Young Thug's defense attorney Brian arrested in the middle of the courtroom.
Take Mr. Steele into custody, please. Yes, sir, you certainly may. Mr. Williams does not wish to go forward without me being here. You are removing me against his will, my will. You're taking away his right to counsel. And you're conducting material parts of this trial without me present, and I can't learn about it by watching online. So for that reason, additionally, I asked for a mistrial.
Judge Glanville wanted him arrested because Brian Steele wasn't snitching on Young Thug. The prosecutors are trying to pin evidence against Young Thug for allegedly taking someone's life. However, Brian Steele got intel from a source of his relating that YSL Woody was actually the guilty one. However, only the judge's corner was supposed to know about that evidence for right now. This is why the judge would go on to ask Brian Steele, "How in the world do you know this? And if you don't snitch, you'll be arrested."
Note that for purposes of record. Well, I'm going forward. What I was told was that Mr. Copeland said, and you haven't answered my question yet. I'm not going to answer that question. You're not? No, I will not answer that question. Why will you not answer that question? Because I want to make sure that what I say is accurate, and I'm not trying to... No. I'm asking you, how did you get this information? I'm not telling the court. What I'm saying is based upon information... Okay, well, listen, if you don't tell me how you got this information, then you and I are going to have some problems. We can have this... I got problems right now. Okay, I know. Look, I don't want to know about your problems, okay, at this point in time. All I'm asking you at this point in time is, how did you come upon this information? Look, if the case gets reviewed... the record's going to be available for our appellate court and for whatever reason. But it's disturbing that how somehow you have surreptitiously gotten information in regards to the court's private ex parte conversations with a party. I mean, yes. A witness?
As right here, Thug's lawyer Brian Steele is standing on business for his client Young Thug, sticking to the literal street code of never snitch, never tell. Sources inside of the courtroom mentioned that Thug was shaking his head up and down, showing that he respects what his lawyer just did. However, the madness would not end here. Reports would then come out sharing that Young Thug's co-counsel, Keith Adams, had the exact same information information that Brian Steele had about YSL Woody being the guilty one, and if he's being arrested, he needs to as well. He would go on to file a motion for a mistrial, leaving hip-hop reporters sharing, "The Young Thug YSL trial is in shambles. Surely this is a mistrial within 24 hours." While rappers reacted saying, "Give Thug a mistrial and free Slime." Now the mistrial hope will happen for one specific reason, and allow me to explain. It's all based on the prosecutors not doing their jobs correctly. It would go and read, "The judge in Young Thug's trial was just arguing with the state because they were unprepared with evidence."
That's too late. The evidence is excluded. The evidence is excluded. I'm going to exclude because I told you that this was going to happen. No. We're excluding that. This is the last. I am not going to tolerate this any further. If you don't get together with your colleagues and flag issues and resolve them promptly, and if I have to take them up, remember, I can exclude them, we'll work the weekends, or we'll do a combination of both. So this time, I'm gonna exclude those two sections.
There's nothing.
I'm not gonna have any more discussion about this, madam. I'm not. I don't. Well, you know what?
And I attempted to try to talk to them earlier this week.
Well, then that's why we have to.
Punishes the state because the defense.
I'm not punishing anybody.
Now this led into the prosecutors having a meltdown inside of the courtroom. As it would be announced, an ex-investigator with the Atlanta Police Department took the stand under cross-examination on Monday. During one moment, former investigator Lakia got into a brief exchange with defense attorney Max.
And D'Angelo White's response was, "We had," correct?
Yes, he did say that, and it was more to that as well.
"We had guns and."
Yes, he stated that.
Okay. "We," being plural, correct? Correct?
Are you insulting my intelligence by asking if we means plural? I think you are, though.
Okay.
I think you are.
All right. Well,
sir, don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, sir. Let's be respectful to our witness,
I'm
okay?
being very respectful, Judge, and I always will.
I doubt it.
As Young Thug's legal team is consistently arguing that the Atlanta Police Department are trying to lie about evidence on Young Thug. Thug's main lawyer would even call out the entire Atlanta Police Department for lying, which reads, "Your Honor, as my eyes roll, I'm about to show you why I don't believe the city of Atlanta at all."
I have
no recording of whom.
Detective Lewis at the hospital, Grady Hospital, September 11, 2013, meets with Walter Murphy. And Your Honor, as my eyes roll out of my head, I'm about to show you why I do not believe the City of Atlanta Police Department at all. This is served in discovery. I will mark it Mr. Williams C and D. And then you tell me if I'm supposed to believe the allegations from the state of Georgia.
However, this is where everything would get heated inside of the courtroom, and allow me to explain. The judge would first call out Young Thug's attorney for stating that the Atlanta Police Department lies about evidence, because this could truly affect Brian Steele's future career if he keeps on cutting ties with the police departments.
Well, not conceding that?
Well, I'm going to tell you that I haven't heard anything that would indicate that's truth.
Yeah, well,
you have a good faith basis to ask that.
You haven't heard anything of who he spoke with. That's my point.
That's the point. But you all can't. But you two, neither one of you can proffer that.
Judge,
it's not proper, Mr. Steele.
No. Listen.
It's not. It would be a violation before me for you to put that in front of this jury.
In the September 17, 2000.
You are saying to the court that you have a belief that there is another statement out there. There's not.
How could you say that?
Because it hasn't been brought up. If it gets brought up, then we'll correct it at that point in time. But right now, I'm going to direct you not to inquire that line. You don't have a basis to do so.
As the evidence that they are discussing is based around a man named Adrian Bean, the Atlanta police are trying to use evidence against Thug that Bean told them in 2013. However, Adrian now in 2024 says he doesn't remember giving them the evidence. The original report reads, "Keep in mind, Adrian is not bound by a plea deal. He was a part of a 2013 crime where 4 people were involved but 1 escaped and was never caught. They need Bean to snitch on Young Thug on the stand like he did with the police in 2013. However, now now he refuses. As Adrian originally snitched on Young Thug in 2013, Young Thug was that one person that escaped and was never caught in that 2013 crime, and the only evidence they have to prove it was that Adrian told them that it was Young Thug in 2013. But because the police took over a decade to start the RICO takedown of Atlanta, Adrian has now forgot about the crime.
After you answer the question, which you have to do.
Because I don't remember nothing that happened in 2013. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I understand. What I have to do is ask you some questions and determine what you do and don't remember. So, what is your response as to whether or not you recognize the images shown in Defendant's Exhibit number 8?
I don't remember.
All right. And I'm going to show you Defendant's Exhibit number 81. Do you recognize what's shown there?
No, ma'am.
All right. What about number 101 for Defendant Exhibits?
You see a car, but I don't remember it.
Okay, that's fine. Is your answer the same for Defendant's Exhibit number 82, number 89, and Defendant's Exhibit 90?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, lots can happen within 11 years, as the crime did occur 11 years ago. Some sources claim that YSL members could have paid Adrian off to not snitch, while others believe that he actually did forget about the crime, as Adrian would go on to reveal why he forgot.
I really don't have any knowledge about 2013, ma'am. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't really have any knowledge about 2013. Once I went to prison and came home from prison and done my time, everything that happened in 2013 or whatever has been put behind me and set forth. So I've been, working and just doing my thing since I came home from prison. I don't have no knowledge of nothing that happened 10 years ago.
This then leads us into the reason of the mistrial happening very soon. The prosecutors need Adrian to snitch. Adrian doesn't want to, so the only evidence they have against Young Thug in a trial that has been going on for over a year now is that Lil Wayne has the same street affiliation as Young Thug.
And are you familiar with who this individual is?
I am.
And who is that?
It's Dwayne Carter.
Okay. And does he have another name that he goes by?
He does.
And what is that?
Lil Wayne.
And are you aware, through any of your non-training experience, if Mr. Carter, Dwayne Carter, self-identifies as a member of?
I believe that he does.
Okay. Tell the jury if you need to stand with the stick and point to what those identifiers are within Defense Exhibit 31.
There's a large MOB across his chest, often used particularly by West Coast, but is used across the country. He has 5 red 5-point stars across his chest.
As the investigator is trying to prove to the jury that rappers have street affiliations, so the second piece of evidence they would share is with YNW Melly, as the two rappers were involved in a Facebook post together, which could connect their two street teams.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with Young Thug, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with the 5-point star as well. Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Okay, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.